Alrighty, hopefully that is better, and we've fixed the problem. Let's see if it can get all our people back in here. Got one person. Got 4 people. There we go. Are we better now? Hope we're doing better than previously. I'm streaming from the phone now. I was previously on the computer from the operations center, and for some reason it took me for a while to get it on the computer, and then when it finally worked, I guess it sucks to do it on the computer, but I have no problems on the phone, so hopefully this is a lot better. Let me see here. How do I get out of this thing? Just have to talk a bit louder here. Well, you know what? Let me see if I can bring it closer. Let's see. There we go. Let's see. Fix that here. There we go. Can you guys hear me better? Okay, good. Good. I'm going to wait to get a little more people in here. And then 20, I'll start talking. So we have over 20 people in here. Explain why I'm doing this live stream. So far, how's everybody doing today? Oh, buffering again. See, are we still buffering? All good here. Google here. Not on. Okay, so for some people, okay, I think maybe it's because I'm doing stuff at the same time here on my end. That might be not on the phone, but on the YouTube channel. That might have had something to do with it. But I think we're good now. And we got 20 people in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and start talking about why I'm doing this live stream. Now, everybody who's been around for this auditing community knows there's been some drama going around, and if you haven't, I don't know where you've been. This drama's been going around for a long time, and personally, I've stayed out of it as much as I can. I have better things to do than waste my time on this drama, and I really would rather dedicate, and must give a shout out to News Now Houston. Good to see you here in the chat. And good thing he is here, because he is one of the people that is also involved with this drama. And well, really, the reason why I'm doing this live stream is Sunday, March 31st at 2:29 p.m. I believe that's the exact time, and that is the screenshot. The thumbnail of this live stream is the screenshot of the call log, and at that time on Sunday, March 31st, 2019, at that time, I received a phone call from a private number, and this individual claimed to be Blue Ghost Media. It later turns out they're not, and I'm not surprised they were. I actually thought at the time they were Blue Ghost Media, but it seemed like, well, why are they all doing this all of a sudden? Why are they, asking all these weird questions and saying these things to me after they just mirrored my video? And now, there's a lot of red flags. Now, I'm kind of rushing my head to myself, but let me start there a little bit from the beginning. Well, after this person claimed they were Blue Ghost Media, they started asking some questions. First, I asked them, if it was Blue Ghost Media, because the call came in from a private number. Now, I don't have a problem answering private number calls. Some people are like, oh my God, it's a private number, I can't answer it, it's somebody, ooh. Yeah, we're not talking about that yet. I'm not Dan, but we'll get into that. Here we go, we got some moderator in there, and I'm sure everybody's going to give all the trolls and whatnot, ooh, time to stan's the moderator. So you know what, where is New Now Houston? I'm just going to make sure he's a moderator. So in all fairness here, hide user, put user in timeout, no, I got to go to that's right, I got a computer to do that here. But in all fairness, we'll make him a a moderator, so anything said about him, he can say, have a fair say in the moderation. But back to what I was saying, I asked this individual if they were Blue Ghost Media, and they confirmed and went along with it. Now, the reason why I asked if this person was Blue Ghost Media is because shortly after I received this phone call, maybe 12 or 24 hours, I left a comment on Blue Ghost Media's channel after he mirrored my video of the, let's see, you were, oh, a Chomo apologist. Yeah. So Mouse Hunter knows what, this is, see, and this is exactly what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Mouse Hunter knows what I'm talking about. So he's already up to speed. But this is why I'm making the live stream. I've stayed out of the drama for long enough, but after someone has called me on my personal number and tried to pump me for information, I went along with their bullshit because some of the people I know personally, and you triggered red flags, and the person is probably watching this and they know who they are, but when somebody says, and I tried to be objective as I can in that situation, and I gave honest answers. Those were my honest answers. I'm not a hater, I'm not, I got nothing to hide. I'm tired of this drama, and enough is enough. And now people are going to drag me into this, it's finally, if I need to make a statement on this, I need to make a statement. But this is ridiculous. People are calling me on a personal number, and, this Chomo, yeah, the Chomo is my moderator, whatever. But, this is the Mouse Hunter is the exact type of behavior, why I'm making this type of live stream, because we got people out here trying to get me to pick a side of who who should I support, who should I not support. But, in the world of Rodney King, can we all just get along? This is the whole, right now, the police are all laughing at us. You don't, how many of you realize they're sitting back laughing at, I've tried, I'm not Dan, I've tried for almost 3 years. I've 3 years to stay out of the drama. For a long ass time. But, after Sunday and doing my research on finding out this individual, it's finally finally time for me to go public. Hey, for all those people that still have my number, I'm not going to change it. So if you want to call and talk to me, that you're deleting non-hate, well, here, let me make some more moderators here. Oh, now it's buffering. Dang it. What is the topic? What is the topic? The rules are, and time to stand, if you're listening here, I'm going to address the rules. Well, let's make some rules here before we go forward. The rules are, right now in this live stream, pretty much, I don't give a shit what you say, as long as if it's reasonably constructive to the conversation at hand. If somebody says time to stand is a chomo, and they, that's one thing. But if they're just going to say, oh, you're a chomo supporter, you're a chomo lover, you're a chomo this, you're a chomo that, and not just provide an argument or a valid reason to back that up, it's just like the people that comment, get a life, and that's it. That's their comment, get a life, that's it. Nothing else, just that. If we're not going to be constructive and put in a reasonable argument to your statement, then it's just going to be spam. What is a chomo? A chomo is street slang for someone who engages with children under the age in sexual activities. Make sure your mods stick to the... So pretty much right now, everybody here, you can say what you want right now, this stream. Just do not, pretty much just provide a valid argument to your statement. Don't just spam. Yeah, if it's fact, that's one thing. The facts are different from just saying, oh, you're a chomo. Well, we already know that. Or that's what you think, or that's what you feel. But it's just, if you're just going to say that, it's not anything constructive to this conversation, then this chat is not for you. I'm here to try and, I want people to ask legitimate questions, legitimate answers and not bullshit. I'm here to finally squash this nonsense and get my statement out. And before I get wrench me here, I'm trying to wrench some people here, but it won't let me do it on the phone. I have to go to the computer, it up here, but I got distracted by the chat. But anyways, let me get back to the what I was saying here. I'm kind of getting pissed off a little bit. Because I want, constructive, not constructive criticism, but constructive comments, not just bullshit spam. It's just like someone just typing "fuck you" in the chat, and that's not it. But anyways, okay, back to the phone call. Sunday, March 31st, I received a phone call from an individual that claimed that they were Blue Ghost Media when I asked them. I asked them this because I commented on Blue Ghost Media's page about, I'm looking at the chat here so I can make some moderators, about 12 or 24 hours before I received this call. And in that comment that's still on his page, I asked, it'd be nice to see you again sometime, do another audit, and I haven't spoken to Blue Ghost Media since the trip to Morro Bay. And so I thought he was calling me after I let this comment to, just catch up, get in touch. And there are some people that I've spoken to on the phone that sound familiar to other auditors, and I've asked them before their names, and they clarified who they were, and I assumed it was Blue Ghost Media. But once this person started talking more, I put either one, they are Blue Ghost Media, and they're kind of flipped their sides on who, on this whole issue, or this person is either impersonating Blue Ghost Media. Either way, I roll with what the individual had to say, because just as much as they wanted information out of me, I wanted some information out of them. But before I continue any further, I got to make some moderators here. I don't live stream often, so First Amendment Audit Ohio. We'll add you. News Now Houston. Where is he at? I can add this. Langley. Add you as a moderator. Let's see here. And just as easily as the moderator privilege can be given, I can revoke it. So keep that in mind. NJ New Jersey, I think it said New Jersey driver or NJ driver said, "Why get involved within the drama?" Well, I have no choice now after Sunday. Langley, News Now Houston. Damn, I'm trying to find News Now Houston's comment. Man, the chat is going so fast here. Stand. And yeah, I can't find News Now Houston's comment, so if he's here, comment again. I'll make you a moderator. Let's see. I think I got everybody that I wanted to get moderated. He'll be totally biased. Well, if he is biased, we'll revoke his privilege. I'll revoke his privilege. This is my channel, not his. Just same with all moderators. Your privilege can be revoked just as easily. I gave it to you. The Frog, yes, innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. All right. Well, now let's see here. All right, let's see. Stay out of this. Eastern Kentucky County. I don't know who. Eastern Kentucky. I don't know who Daniel. If you're applying to him or referring to News Now Houston. Yeah, it does. It does suck I was brought into the drama. But from what the video I was sent, it appeared that the person recorded that phone call or played it live for everybody on Discord to listen during the interview. So I feel obligated now. I have to, answer some questions here. That's another thing. After I explain more about this phone call, I want people to ask questions if they need clarification. But this person, and I can't say 100% sure, but I am 99.9% sure it's somebody by the username of what do you call it? Ridicule. I believe it is that person that called me and claimed to be Blue Ghost Media. And I'm not on Discord, and I don't care to get on Discord, because everybody that's on Discord has told me not to get on Discord, and it's just even worse drama there than it is on YouTube right now. And like I said, I'm taking time out of my day to do this live stream, and people are going to say, oh, don't talk about yourself. But, I mean, I don't do this trauma stuff. I want to be working on videos right now, but because people are texting me and asking me stuff, I gotta do a live stream. I feel, anyways. No one said I have to do a live stream, but I feel obligated to do a live stream. Yes, that's what the names I saw in the chat of the video that was sent to me. Someone took a video of the chat of I believe it was Merb's Discord that this was posted in. And they were scrolling through the chat, and I'm seeing mostly people referred to this guy for RIC, short, and the only person I saw in the chat there that was referred to full name with the short letters RIC is Ridicule and Richard. And everybody knows, and if you don't know, you must have been under a rock, but everybody knows Time to Stand is Richard. Richard Crowell, anyways, and he's fully aware of, everybody should know that, and if you haven't, you've been under a rock. I can give a break for some of the new users, but for the long time guys, come on, you got to know. No, TTS didn't pray for me. That's the thing. So unless it's either Richard, which has RIC in it, or Ridicule, who has RIC in it, and I know Richard didn't impersonate Blue Ghost Media and call me, so the only person that could have called me with the initials of a username RIC is this person Ridicule, and everything I said to this person were details being listed in the chat that was sent to me. So unless that person didn't call me, I don't know who did. But it seems to me a lot of the things being said in that chat were the same things that I said to that person. And that person also said to me, I think people in Merb's Discord would really love to hear what you would have to say. They said Merb's Discord. I'm not saying Merb's Discord. They told me, I think the people in Merb's Discord would love to hear what you would have to say. And that's what I was told, and then somebody sends me a video of this chat, and I'm like, Merb's Discord, this person Ridicule, now we know who it is. In all of your videos, I've seen you're a good guy with all the... So thank you, Jenny, thank you, appreciate that. Oh, he's been impersonating. Oh, okay. Well, then that just confirms it. He has been impersonating all officers, not officers, but auditors, I should say. Impersonating an officer is a felony. Ooh, don't get arrested for that, kids. That's very, very bad. But anyways, and primarily, what already triggered the red flags for me is Ridicule, or whatever the person's name. What primarily triggered the red flags for me is, I'm saying, there are other tyrants here. Review. Oh, FAA fan club. Yeah, that's another thing. Someone sent me a leak. Oh, you got to take down. We got to get involved with FAA fan club. Help. They're gonna post information and shit, and And I'm like, I told the person, it's like, well, if they're hosting the website on their own server and paying for that, there's nothing you can do. I mean, they can pretty much do what they want at that point. But like I said, I have better things to do than 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 what do you call it? Than be involved and try and take a. I don't know if this is. I don't think it's Felipe drama this time. I don't think it's Felipe. Well, what's been done to me, anyways. I mean, there's a whole bunch of drama. You know, Felipe Hemming is just a small portion of this auditing drama. You know, he's not the epicenter of it. I wouldn't say there's a real epicenter. Everybody has added their own little portions of drama into this melting pot, and here we are now, Tuesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific Standard Time, with the cameraman making a drama rant. You know, it shouldn't have come to this, but after talking with Blue Ghost Media and telling him how somebody impersonated him, and it seems to me this guy wanted to stir up drama between the community, all after Blue Ghost Media mirrored my Morro Bay video on his channel. Where did it start, Karen? Honestly, to say, because there's so many different divisions. If you want more so of a, as far as the major drama, I mean, talking behind people's, everybody's going to have their own little criticism of each individual auditor. That's one thing. But I think the main drama really started with the whole what do you call it? The whole Felipe Hemming law firm situation. I think that's the real major drama. I mean, there's been little minor things between auditors here and there, but usually it's personal issues that they work out themselves. All I'm going to say about Felipe Hemming is he wanted to do the Port Hueneme case, and I didn't do it with him. And that's it. Other than that, I can't say anything about Felipe Hemming and the Hemming firm, because I didn't do any business with him. I didn't do any sort of business with him, so I have nothing to complain about. I have nothing to complain about when it comes to Felipe Hemming, because he didn't do anything to me, and I have no real reason to do anything to him. So that's all I'm going to say on Felipe Hemming. There's a lot of stuff surrounding him that I'm not going to go into because it's unrelated drama to this incident. And Philly, I have no beef with Hemming, and he should have no beef with me. The only thing that I did with him is he wanted to get involved with the Port Hueneme. We had contact with him, and we ended up doing business with him. And another thing too, a lot of people seem to get in their head that that this whole, oh, you were arrested by Port Hueneme, you were arrested by Port Hueneme. I wasn't arrested by Port Hueneme. In California, if you don't have sufficient ID and you need to be ID'd for a crime, which the officers at the time reasonably thought they were enforcing a law, a city ordinance, I didn't have sufficient ID, and I even told them when they said, well, we're going to take you to the station, I said, bring it, I encouraged it. And so they detained me and ID'd me for a ticket. They didn't arrest me, because if they arrested me, they wouldn't have taken my right thumb, they would have taken all of my fingerprints, they would have taken a mugshot, they would have booked me. There's a booking process. A detainment for identification is different from a booking process. And for what they were citing me for, it was an arrestable offense at the time. Their city ordinance was a citable offense. And the thing is I could have gone to court and sued them and maybe gotten X amount of dollars that could have taken years for me to get. Or at that point, which everybody used to forget, is when I was put in the Port Hueneme police car, everybody got up and left. All the police officers left. So once the officers thought by giving the middle finger that was somehow verbal, swearing verbally, to be cited in their thingy. And what's going on? Earl is the rapist mod. Oh, yeah, comments like that made by Teresa are, that's the stuff top, this type of stuff I'm talking about. So then I don't fault time for Stan doing that moderation here. Because if you're just going to come and comment that, is Earl the rapist here, then you're clearly not interested in adding thing to the situation. No, you can speak in here, but there's gonna have to be something constructive. If you're just gonna come in here and spam Earl is a rapist, Earl is a rapist, Earl is a rapist, then your chat privileges can be taken away. Okay, I think that's reasonable. I think everybody here can find that reasonable. If you're just gonna repeat the same thing over and over again, then your chat privileges can be suspended. But if you're gonna have ask reasonable questions and contribute to this live stream, then by all means comment. I did Cameraman. I didn't delete her comments. It says right there. It says right there. I'll go back up. It says right here who deletes whose comments. So I'm not deleting anybody's comments. So anybody see right here, the mouse, my keyboard. So it says right there on the computer who's deleting whose comments. I'm live streaming on the phone. So anybody's comments who's getting deleted, it is from a moderator. And there's only 3 moderators in here I know of. Ohio, Ling Lang, and Time to Stand. So those are the 3 moderators in here. So it is those 3 that are doing the, we got Merb lets me free, so I don't know if that's the real Merb or Merb troll account, but we got a Merb account in here. But though, for the record, if I got to pull a Keemstar here and show that my hands are up and and Alex, I mean, by all means, I'll keep my hands up. See, I'll set them right on top of my pith helmet, just for the record. Well, Teresa, you got in late, but I addressed the rules earlier. The rules are you can say anything you want in here as long as it's constructive and it's legitimate to the live stream. But if you're just going to come in here and say, repeatedly say stuff over and over again, like Earl is a rapist and that's just it, and not back up anything and just spam that and just say that repetitively, then you don't need to be chatting in here. I want people asking legitimate questions about the situation pertaining to what I'm talking about. We've already discussed my issue on Felipe Hemming. I'm not going to talk anymore on Felipe Hemming. I'm not going to talk about Earl David Warden, News Now Houston, until I get into anything I want to talk about him. So if we can keep all the Earl David Warden stuff off here for the moment. The only reason everybody's bringing it up is because he stopped in and said hello. God forbid, somebody comes in here and says hello. Now we got to spam him. But anyways, and back to the whole freaking main issue at hand that I keep getting distracted about here. News Now Patrick, I'll get to that. Matter of fact, I'll squash it out right now. I don't know News Now Patrick. I don't have his phone number. The only thing I know about him is from the videos I watched and what the person asked me is if when they called me is in a fight out of Minnesota Guardian, News Now Patrick, and another person's name that I don't know. I believe they're a new channel. I don't know who they are. But they asked me, out of the 3 of you, because I guess we're more of the younger auditors, the FAA fan, and before I continue, the FAA fan club is a website created by somebody. Some people are saying it's Teresa. Some people are saying it's somebody else. I don't really give a shit who created it. Whoever created. But anyways, if it is a website where it's supposedly going to document all of us First Amendment auditors and activists and expose our backgrounds and keep track of court dates and all this other stuff. So wow, dude, sucks you'd like to be a part of. Hey, sorry, Anthony, It's what it is. It's what it is. I've tried to stay away from this drama for a long time, but I need to make a statement. Have you been to it, Cam? Been to what? Oh, the FA. Yeah, I looked at it. And I see. Yeah, it's not. That's what people are telling me what the purpose is, and it looks like to me it looks like somebody's trying to make a Reddit version for First Amendment auditors, and that's fine. I really have better things to do than worry about this person's website. It's about good and the bad. Yeah, whatever. I really don't care. I mean, it's their website. Do whatever they want with it. But I'm focused on my channel and what's on my channel and running my channel and worried about my platforms. I'm not worried about other people's platforms, because I can't control other people's platforms. I control my platform. If people can understand what I'm saying here. So that's why I really, voice crack, whatever, you're about the 30,000th person that's commented something about that in one of my videos. I don't really care. I mean, people known this for years, my age. Why am I watching this clown? You got to ask yourself that, Ranger Horse. Why are you watching me? I don't know. You're the one that tuned into my live stream. I didn't ask you to stay here. See, this is the logic. See, this is exactly why I don't get involved with the drama. Because of this logic. This logic. It's the same as walking up to a camera and saying, "Don't film me." It's the same logic. It's the same logic. It's the same logic. you know, it's hard not to laugh too. I mean, come on. Come on. Exactly. It's all childish bullshit. And it kills me is from both sides. I've been told that I've been somewhat the most mature out of all of these auditors. And I'm not saying I'm perfect either. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. I'm not perfect. And in my opinion, there's no one perfect auditor. There's no one perfect auditor. Everybody has their own style, and that's what they're famous for. So there's no one true perfect auditor in my opinion. You watch who you want to watch, and you don't watch who you don't want to watch. And if you get the people you don't like the way they're doing, then you're just creating unnecessary stress for yourself, and you shouldn't watch them. But anyways, back to News Now Patrick. They asked me, out of all those people, who in a fight would win. And this is my honest to God answer. I said, it seems like to me, out of the Minnesota Guardian, he's very new. I mean, I'm only seeing, what I'm showing here, a chest and a head. So I can't say, yeah, you resemble Grumpy. Yeah, I'm freaking Walter right now from Jeff Dunham. I am Grumpy. Yeah, the cameraman is Grumpy. But they asked me out of all of us who would win in a fight, and I honestly said, I can't really give a fair opinion because I'm only seeing people by their chest. But it seems like News Now Patrick and me would be the two even competitors. But really, what does that have to do with anything? And other things. They asked me, out of all the auditors, Pink Camera Magic, Catilda the Hun, another one, a Furry Potato, who would I have relations with? If you watch the thing, you already know my answer. I said, I said Ida Foxy Queen. Out of all those people, if you want an honest to God answer, I said Ida Foxy Queen. Because she seems like to me, she, even though all the drama I've heard about her, everybody's coming and telling me, oh, she's an evil person, she betrayed you, she'll sleep around with you, blah, blah, blah. And then I got people telling me that, no, Ida Foxy Queen was victimized, this and that, and I don't really care what her drama is. I just think out of all the ones I've given, I think she's one of the more attractive ones in the auditing community. But again, why is someone asking me, a 19-year-old, about why would I have give Black Label a wrench? Which Black where? And why Labelle 3? Okay. It's a punk and why should I mod him? Here, why should I mod him? But back to what I was saying, again, why is someone okay, someone's telling me to, let's see here. Okay, I'm getting too many personal messages saying from different people to remove Ohio, so he's suspended for right now for monitoring privileges. So again, and just that's the first time I've touched the mouse to do anything. Like I said, I'm pulling a Keemstar head because people, and again now I'm getting people, that little ding, that's different people private messaging me. So you know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna remove all the mods because everybody's being a whiny ass. So everybody's getting removed from auditing privileges. Everybody. So nobody's a moderator except me now, because again, nobody can fucking follow the rules, So I guess I'm gonna have to watch chat here and so whatever, Ranger Horse, so get ready, everybody. Go ahead and spam your rape comments. Go ahead and spam everything. So I'm tired of listening to all these people bitch about mod and who's not mod. So fuck it. Let's have no mods. Let all the shit spew through. All right, now back to what I was saying. Again, why is someone asking me why would I, who I find most appealing to have intimate relations with when all these people are at least 2 to 3 times my age? What does that have to do with auditing? What does that have to do with filming? What does that have to do with really anything? It's weird. And another thing, James Freeman. This person told me James Freeman had relations with Furry Potato. His wife found out about it, and so he got in trouble for that. And he was part of some white supremacist group in Arizona. And when they found out he had relations with Furry Potato, he got kicked out of Arizona. And I guess then after that, he pissed off the Texas auditors, and they kicked him out of Texas. And then the white supremacist group welcomed him back with open arms of embrace. And did I mention, too, that this person also told me that the white supremacist group that James Freeman is supposedly associated with is also a homosexual white supremacist group. Now, I don't care really if you're gay or not gay, but the last time I heard, and did my research on white supremacist groups, they don't like gay people either. So, not to say that there's not a possibility that that there is a group out there like that, but usually white supremacists consider gay people to be one of the people you don't like. Teresa, how did you get AIDS when you're... See, this is exactly why what we're talking about. So do you want mods or not? Do you want mods or not? Fuck Huckleberry Finn. This is the stuff I'm talking about. Do we want mods or not? Because this is the last time I'm dealing with this moderator crap before I continue with the story. I got 1 for no mods. 1 for no mods going once. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 no mods. I got 1 yes, 1 yes. Okay, the no's have it. Yeah, Cameraman has lost control. No, the Cameraman, when he tries to control, people get uppity about what he tried to control. So it's an O.J. Simpson situation, ladies and gentlemen. No matter the outcome, people are gonna think he's guilty, and people are gonna think he's innocent. So we'll just leave it at that. But keep the mods there winning. See, I'm trying to, because they're getting both here on the 2 different chats here. I'm trying to keep a manage of. Never be alright, 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 here. Where is Huckleberry? We're gonna put you in a timeout, I think. Just don't mod news now. Houston, cameraman, you're saying freedom is GSY? GSY? Freedom is gay? What? What? But anyways. And, you know, it's just ridiculous that this person thought they were gonna spew to me all this information, and then they asked me for phone numbers of all bunch of new auditors that I don't know. You know, I'm one of the oldest channels around, so I mostly know the old school people. I'm not really up to date with the new people, and so that was one of the other red flags, is they're asking me numbers for people that they should probably know already. That was one of the red flags. Constitutional Corner, they brought up Constitutional Corner. They said that she was arrested in Florida in a SML bondage type raid. And I know Constitutional Corner, and I mean, if she's into that stuff, that's none of my business. But it seems like to me that if that were true, everyone would have heard about that. Not only this one person. I would have been informed of it, you know, it had been big news. So if I didn't hear about it, that was another red flag. Let's see, and it just things just kept slip. Well, what really red flagged me is that person said, well, Hemming said at one point, and then they quickly started talking about something else to deflect from that. And I know personally, Blue Ghost Media doesn't speak to Hemming. The real Blue Ghost Media. So that was another major red flag for me. So, and just this, and even I said, and a person commented in the Discord chat. I even said that, wow, I can't believe Cameraman is stringing him along this long. I mean, the only thing you got reasonably could say you got me with is you did get me with the whole Blue Ghost Media. But once I called, because that person called me back, the person called me from a private number, and I called Blue Ghost Media back on the number I had originally given to me since Morro Bay. That number had been changed. So that was another major red flag. And so when I finally got Blue Ghost Media's updated number and talked to him, you know, the pieces really fit together. But I didn't decide to make a video about it. I was contemplating about how to come out about this issue for a couple days, and finally said, well, fuck it, we'll just do a live stream, and that way people can ask questions as I'm talking, and we can really squash some of these issues. And the main reason I'm doing this video is people are going to start dragging me into the drama, and this person called me an hour and a half, and mainly I wanted to get out with that phone call. I don't know if somebody has it recorded, I'd like them to email that to me. And I don't really, I mean, there is some legal repercussions that can come of this, but it's something it's still a possibility on the board. But it's just like more bullshit, more time. It's like, you know, there's potential legal repercussions of what Huckleberry has the recording. So it's Huckleberry now. It's Huckleberry. Well, maybe the real person driving traffic to you. Oh, well, I'm not surprised. You know, this is the main thing. This is the main thing what I didn't want to do is I knew as soon as I come out talking about any sort of drama, because reasonably out of everybody that has had drama in the community, I'm the only one I can say that I've done either filming with that person or spoken with that person. And if they haven't done anything negatively against me, I really can't feel honestly in any way, shape, or form retaliating against me. It's like it's schoolyard bully nonsense 101. It's like, okay, you two kids get in the fight, and then that kid gets his big brother and says, "Oh, well, I got beat up. Um, you got to go kid's ass." And the big brother of the little kid that got beat up is friends with the big brother of the little brother that beat up the first little brother. So the little brother that got beat up also wants that his big brother to no longer be friends with the other kid that beat him up, big brother, because he and him had a personal issue, and he wants to make all the friends that are related to that person no longer be friends with that person because they had a disagreement or some personal issue they couldn't work out. And I'm not that type of person that's gonna say, "Oh, well, so and so did something to you and you didn't like that. I should no longer be friends with them because you and him had a disagreement or didn't like that." That's not me. If they do something to me and I can't work that out, what do you call it? Then maybe that friendship isn't for them. But the only person that I know of, anyways, that ever said something about me that seemed like an attack was San Joaquin Valley Transparency. And I was sent a screenshot of one of his messages, and I believe he said I was, well, it doesn't really matter. He said something about me, and somebody sent it to me saying, "Oh, San Joaquin Valley Transparency is attacking you, blah, blah, blah." And at the time, I still had San Joaquin's number before he changed it. He said he was going to change it the last time I ever spoke with him. So I don't know if he has changed it. And if I ever wanted to verify, I would have to stop the live stream and call on my phone. But I do believe he probably has changed it. But I called him up. I left him a voicemail. He called me back. We had like a 2-hour phone call, and we worked out our issues. And as far as I'm aware, no one has come. He hasn't, to my knowledge, tried to start any beef with me, and no one has sent me any messages saying that San Joaquin Valley Transparency is talking bad behind my back that I have received or they know of anyway. Because people, and there we go, San Joaquin Valley, see, yes sir, and that's the only person that said something, and it turned out that they had misinformation. And when I called San Joaquin Valley, we squared things up, and he understand. And that was the only person that I publicly knew of that said anything negatively. That was a major auditor, because I get trolls every day that say comments, on me. "Get a life, you're stupid, blah blah blah." But the only auditing channel that ever said anything negative was SGVT, and we worked everything out. And as far as I'm aware, and I hope this still stands, I have nothing personal against him, and he has nothing personal against me. And even in that call, that person brung up, this is why I talked about, in the chat, you'll see there, I talked about smoking marijuana. And everybody who knows me knows that. It's no big surprise. This is California, it's 2019, so, and the reason I brung that up is because that person, said San Joaquin Valley, he's a piece of shit, he did time for this and that, and I said, well, from the best of my knowledge, the only thing San Joaquin ever for me was he was in type of drug dealing business with marijuana, but he got out of it, and yep, unsubscribed, yes, I partake in the devil's lettuce, much, and a lot of you people out there too that are watching this. I know a lot of you personally that partake in the devil's lettuce as well, and you know who you are. And as much as you want to probably deny it publicly, you do it privately, and you've done it in front of me. So if I catch you know of anyway saying you don't, I might have to call you out on it. But really, in this day and age, I don't care if you do the lettuce or don't do the lettuce. Don't put your feet in my lettuce. That's all I'm saying. But if you, that's a meme reference. Um, anyways, so it shouldn't really surprise anybody. I mean, and it surprised me actually to find someone that isn't also somewhat of a marijuana activist in this auditing community. But the reason I brung that up is, and many people are freaking closeted smokers. They don't want to talk about it, but here I had no problem openly bringing it up. I don't smoke cigarettes. I will not smoke cigarettes. I'll smoke a joint any day, but no thank you on the cigarettes. I tried it one time, tasted nasty, never did it again. And that's all I really need to say about that. But the reason I brought it up is because they said, San Joaquin was just a piece of shit, and I straight up told him the only thing I knew of is he said to me he was in type of marijuana drug dealing, and he got out of it, and he only does stuff for him personally. He only keeps himself now because he has a family and he's a married man, and that's if you will, that's as the kids say, that's young hoodlum stuff. And now that you're a grown man, you need to be more responsible. And we all do dumb shit when we're young, and we need to learn from our mistakes when we're older, and that's how we better ourselves in life. And the people who don't, well, they end up where they end up. But regardless, I don't care if San Joaquin smokes marijuana or does whatever he does. That's his business, not my business, and it should never be the community's business. And I should not even be here explaining that, because that person shouldn't have called me and talk shit about San Joaquin. And it really the main thing. And we're going on, I'm going to go for another 10 minutes, because we're almost gone on for an hour here. But the main and I even got someone text me, I should stop doing the live stream because I'm going on too long and long and long and long. But the main thing is I'm really ashamed of how this community has become. 3 years ago, everybody was loving each other. Never thought you'd be a smoke. Or as one of your oldest subs, great to see you. Yeah, hey, that's one thing I think is marijuana is a medical benefit. It's helped me with my sleeping issues. It's helped me with my anxiety. Some people, feel, embarrassed to talk about it, and hey, I don't force anybody to talk about it if they don't want to talk about it. But I think marijuana is a great medical benefit and substitute to taking 30 pills to treat one issue. And I think it's really helped me become a better person from what I was previously. But there's a difference between people who use it properly, and then there's people who abuse it. If you smoke and drive, I don't condone smoking and driving, especially in this state. They'll really get you for DUI and things of that nature. But if you use it properly and don't abuse it, and don't abuse it, and use it just like drinking. Use it responsibly. I don't give a shit about it. But if you're someone who uses it recklessly and gets in trouble for it, or gets other people in trouble for it, then yeah, you might have a problem. And let me read here what Sandwich said real quick. Which saying, yeah, well, yeah, there, I could be wrong, with the communities going, but as far as the old school activists go, there's a lot of divide between a lot of us old school activists and a lot of us new people, a lot of the new guys, especially for the new guys. What I feel sorry for is all these new channels are starting up, and then they're getting swamped with, oh, don't associate with so-and-so, don't do this. And this person just started one channel and one video, and they're already getting hate comments of who to associate, not to associate. And what kills me is Minnesota Guardian, for example. He's a very new channel that started out, and everybody's giving him crap because he's 18 years old. I started this at 16 years old, and I didn't get shit for that. people are like, oh, I think it's great that you're 16. I think it's wonderful that you're so young and into your rights and this and that and this. And then I'm reading the comments on Minnesota Guardian's video, and it's like, where's mom and dad? He's too young for this. Sue or get out. It's like, what happened? Like 3 years ago when I started this, I thought I was like the bee's knees because I was so young. And now someone who's, a little around the same age as I am now, starts a channel doing, post offices, and apparently, he's not a great individual for that. Can't divide individualism. The Texas versus California beef was going on before. And the whole thing. I don't have any beef with anybody from Texas. That's the one thing is I don't understand why apparently, and when these people, they say California auditors, I'm in California and I primarily audit in California, so I'm pretty much being labeled in that group, even though I have no beef with any Texas auditors. And if any Texas auditors have a problem with me, I would like to know if there is any Texas auditors that have a problem with me, because as far as I'm aware, I don't have any beef with anybody in Texas, and they don't have any beef with me. Cameron, did you have to have your mom drive? No, I actually walked, and I came in by parachute. I walked and primarily came in by parachute. So if I couldn't walk or couldn't come in by parachute, I couldn't do the audit because, I'm like Uncle Pennybags. I have no money. I'm broke at the end of Monopoly, so I can't afford to drive. I can't take the train. I can't take a bus. I'm in my mom's basement right now, and I must say it is a pretty good basement. I mean, I do have a TV. There's air conditioning fan, so I'm in a pretty good basement compared to some of the other basements I'm being told people live in. But it's just the nonsense like that. That's exactly why I'm talking about mods here, ladies and gentlemen. Did we really need that comment? Did we really need that? Yeah, it isn't obviously here. Well, here, I can even make it brighter. There we go. I don't know if that helps, but yeah, there we go. Yeah, see, submarine flying car. The camera. Did Earl touch you inappropriately when he taught you had? see, this is exactly what I'm talking. See, ladies and gentlemen, so do you really want mods or do you not want mods? That's not constructive, that's just bullshit. That's bullshit. It's just spam. It's just spam. So, we're going to put an end to this. See, I just removed that comment. And if it gets up again, we'll block it. But this is what I'm talking about. Free speech is one thing. I got a hardwood chair, so I keep a blanket on the back of it. But, it's one thing, free speech is one thing, but when we're trying to keep, on subject here, that's the type of comments that we don't need to be, in the chat. I will donate 50, well, I'm going to start that's one of the things, too, in this person's, call. They were asking me about if I was going to change my ways. Keep in mind, I can't change something I recorded 2 years ago. Yep, dab on the haters. Dab on the haters. I can't change something that was recorded 2 years ago. But, as I've matured and I've seen all the things, and, I have changed my style as I've gotten older, Are you okay with... Here. That's the type of stuff. There we go. Let's talk about more drama today. Tomorrow, more drama. Next week, more drama. Yeah, that's another thing. It just keeps going on and on and on again. And even when people do try and put it to a stop, people start it up again. Because people develop from this drama, just like how a community develops from police abusing somebody, a community develops around that issue. A community has developed around the following of this drama. And I'm probably freaking breaking news #1 right now, dropping the bombshell on all the channels that cover the Auditor drama, if you will. But, you know, one thing is, you know, I'm trying to be, you know, learn from my mistakes, and I think we should all learn from our mistakes, and I think that's what helps us mature and produce better content, is listening to feedback, reasonable feedback, and, you know, try and improve from that. You know, people have their own styles, and, you know, and that's their business. But I think, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are wasting their time, you know, on Auditor drama when they could, you know, what kills me is when I see a video of somebody, you know, here, you know, Big Papa, this is what I'm going to say about News Now Houston. So, you know, you can stop with the News Now Houston, what do you call it, nonsense. News Now Houston, I'm aware of everything. I'm aware of all the cases, all that, you know. Do you think he was a kiddly diddler? I can't say for sure on the... if he's guilty, he's guilty. If he's innocent, he's innocent. When it comes to this new allegation, I've talked about it with many people, and like I said earlier, it is an O.J. Simpson situation. Because no matter the outcome, no matter the verdict, no matter what happens, people are going to think he's innocent, and people are going to think he's guilty. You're not going to be able to satisfy one group and have everybody shift over to that side. It's going to be a permanently divided issue. News Now Houston was convicted previously of his sexual thing, and I'm aware of that. I've been aware of that since I started my channel. You know, as far as auditing, anyways. But like I said in the recorded call, that supposedly it's Huckleberry that recorded the call and not Ridicule. Made the note of that. Stop using the Chewbacca defense, whatever Chewbacca defense is. Now see, that distracted me there. What I did say in the call is that that his previous conviction, you know, impersonating a cop, or, you know, we don't know, you know, unless you were there, you know, it's just what the piece of paper says, what his word is, and what her word is. But I think everybody's missing the point here, is for 20 millions wool block, whatever. I think the main thing everybody should take away here is, regardless of what News Now Houston did or didn't do, anybody who is married should take that as a valuable lesson, is that when you're married, don't be screwing around when you're married. Because you can get in trouble doing that. And you think you might be able to get away, and it turns out to bite you back in the ass. And that's pretty much what I said on the recorded phone call about that issue. I believe there was some sort of sexual content, not content, but contact there. Whether or not, you know, there's so much, you know, people saying he used a gun to do it. He just had, you know, it doesn't really matter at this point. I care less how it was done. The point is there was some sort of sexual contact, and he got held accountable for it. You know, regardless if it was, you know, yeah, wears a pith helmet. Regardless of whatever way it was done, you know, with a gun, with his part attached to his physical body. The point is, there was a sexual contact. I can't stop saying content, but contact. The person reported it. There was apparent sufficient evidence to proceed with a conviction, and he served his time, and he's out. He did his debt to society, and as far as I am concerned in regarding this matter, he did his time. The legal system found reasonable evidence to convict him on that issue. Our taxpayer dollars did what we're supposedly paying them to do. So whatever way you want to believe he did it or did not do it, the point is, on that issue, there was sufficient evidence within the system to find him guilty, to convict him of that crime, and he did his time for that. As far as this new allegations go, I can't give a fair comment on that until there's a conviction. But like I said, even if I believe if he's innocent or not innocent, it's going to be an O.J. Simpson. He is our O.J. Simpson. People are going to think he's guilty, and people are going to think he's innocent. Whether it'll be 20 years from now or 30 years from now, people will be thinking he's innocent or he's guilty, or maybe they'll all just change their opinion and think he's guilty after they watch a documentary about it on TV. But the point is you're not going to be able to satisfy one side of the News Now Houston, the News Now Houston drama. You're not going to be able to appease both sides. So, and I've seen the evidence. If we don't know if is it okay to defend him, but not to, you can question him all you want, you can defend him all you want, but you should know when the trial or whatever legal action happens pertaining from this incident, you need to be able to hold yourself accountable about what you said regarding that incident. So if you say something like, let's say for example, Party A molested Party B with a baseball bat, and penetrated, and it turned out that actually it was a something other than a baseball bat in this example, and you went around before the evidence fully came out and said, oh, he's guilty, he used a baseball bat, and then it comes to trial and said, Your Honor, the evidence we're presenting here is not a baseball bat, but it's actually a golf club. Well, let's say a golf club, or whatever one. Then that person that went around saying, oh, he did it with a baseball bat, needs to be held accountable for that. So that's why everybody should be very cautious, and because he used a golf. See, now, San Joaquin, you're not listening. What I'm saying is here, if you say someone did something with an object or whatever, let's say it was a robbery. Let's say, for example, somebody goes in and robs a store with a gun, and a person goes around and says, oh, that person went and robbed a store with an AR-15. They're a crazy person. For using an AR-15 in a robbery, blah blah blah. And it turns out the person actually used a pistol. You need to be held accountable for saying that when it wasn't true. This should be media accountability 101. If you report something and it doesn't turn out to be true, you need to be held accountable for that. But one of the most difficult things to prove is someone's word, when all you have to go on is words, and especially if it's words for something 80 years ago. What happened to a golf club? I just used it because I used something that is long, that can be used for penetration. A baseball bat, a golf club, it has a long shaft. A javelin spear could be used for that. My microphone can be used right here for that. It's long, it can penetrate, anything. I was just looking for something that had a shaft on it, or was long, for an example or instance. As far as I'm aware, News Now Houston didn't use a golf club, and if he did use a golf club, that's a freaking, quite an interesting coincidence because from my understanding, I did not hear anything about him using a golf club. The only thing that has been alleged is that he used a pistol during the encounter, or his man business attached to him, if you get what I'm saying there. Yeah, see, exactly. No golf club. I said golf club. So again, people aren't paying attention here. But like I said, just like with the whole president Donald Trump, if you want, there's a perfect example right there with this all Russian collusion thing. That's a whole different issue. But if the thing is, if you report something falsely, you should be held accountable for reporting it falsely. So what am I being immature about? Please, this is the type of comments I'm talking about. You say that, but you have nothing to back up your statement. So it's like, so that's the type of comments I'm trying. That's why, you know, it's like you say that, but you don't. There's nothing constructive to that. You just say that, and there's no follow up to it. But the main thing is that all these people out here saying one auditor's bad, you know, nobody's perfect, and I think everybody should stop worrying about everybody else and just worry about themselves for a change. Before you talk about it, you should read the court I read the court documents. I read the court documents. You weren't listening. I read all the paperwork. I've seen the paper. I've seen his mugshot from 1985. I've seen the old ass paperwork with the old font. I've seen all the documents scanned. You know, you people don't think I see this shit. I do. You know, just because I don't go public about this stuff, you don't think I'm in the background there and have people telling me this stuff? I tell them I don't want to be involved with this shit, but they keep dragging me into it. Okay, you know, I see everything. You know, as much as I don't want to see it, I do. As much as I don't want to see all of this shit, I do. I see everything. News Now Houston didn't tell me anything. When I found out about his first conviction, it was from what do you call it? A commenter, because they posted a link. Oh, look, he's on the list. I looked at it and I'm like, oh, well. And I called somebody up and I asked him, well, hey, what's this about News Now Houston being over on the thing? And I wouldn't say it's triggered. I'm just annoyed by the fact that how ignorant people are being. What do you call it? Now, back to what I was saying is, someone told me the information about News Now Houston from what they were told directly from News Now Houston. And so I knew about this for years, and I'm like, well, you know, well, then he did his thing, he did his time. That's the end of it. If he's convicted, he's convicted. It's not like I can wave a magic wand and suddenly make this information disappear in my eyes, unsee what I just saw. You know, wait, I didn't see that comment. I didn't see that comment. No, I have no idea about News Now Houston. No, not me. You know, I wish I had the magic to do that, but I don't. I don't. And as much as I tell people I don't want to get involved with the drama, they keep sending me stuff. And after Sunday, and somebody called me on my personal number, and just for the record, the people out there who have my personal number and know me and that I've given it to it, I'm not going to change it. It's still the same. I'm not intimidated by these people calling, but you know, after this guy Sunday, it's just enough is enough. It's like, you know, like I said earlier, in the words of Rodney King, can we all just get along? And it really bothers me. This has been contemplating for 2 days in my head, you know, this whole situation, and I just need to get this off my chest. For 3 years, pretty much, I've been on the sidelines of this drama, but it's like, you know, enough is enough. And if people are going to call me up and do ambush interviews, as much as we are, you know, people can say we are guilty of doing that ourselves, I mean, I'm going to just finally have to come out and make a public statement about this, because it's just enough is enough. I mean, I really, and pretty much what I said in that recorded phone call is information that's already been put out, that I'm already been aware of, and And another thing too, let's get back to some of the things that were told to me in that phone call. Yeah, of course, I know they're pulling my chain. Everything after red flags started getting figured up, I figured, well, if this is Blue Ghost Media, they're either they have some sort of weird agenda here, or this person is impersonating Blue Ghost Media. But one of the things they said to me was California Guardian. What I was told is because he after the verdict he took a deal. What I'm just gonna say is from now he took some sort of, what I was told is on the court date everything was settled because Johnny 50 uploaded that video. If you go look on his channel, it should still be up with that whole incident relating to Scientology. And I'm gonna personally tell my little story about Scientology after I get done with this, if you guys want to hear that as well. And this is a warning I gave to everybody about Scientology. But I asked, I made a phone call after that and asked, well, what's going on with California Guardian's case? I'm being told that it's all settled now. And the person told me that he took a deal because Ohio Guardian wanted to take some deal. And whether or not, this person is, I don't, it doesn't really matter who told me this information because now it's all up in the air. All I know is there was some sort of judgment at this point. But I asked the person, what I was told is that he took some sort of deal. He had to do anger management, pay a fine, and have some probation time, and that's it. And then this person said, oh, no, there's more to that. He is now a Scientology agent, and he has agreed to film all of Scientology's events, and he's going to be doing work for Scientology, and all this. It's like, why would why would the Church of Scientology, of all people, go so hard in the courtroom to go after this guy legally just to strike up some sort of deal where he would now work for Scientology? That's like if all of you, if you've been following the Scientology protest community, that's like Scientology asking the angry gay pope to become their media directions operation manager. It's too unreal for that to happen. And it's just like, rip Furry Potato. What, did Furry Potato pass away or something? I don't know why someone just commented what happened. But that's what I was told, and as far as what California Guardian supposedly took, now, yeah, Angry Gay Pope should be their media director. He'd probably make a lot more better videos than their media people do. I mean, some of them are very, I look at, like, they have their videos where they show their ideal orgs, and the guy is like, I'm like, he's so boring describing the narration, and it's like, ooh, whoopee-doo. But it's like, but anyways, it's just too unreal. It's an unreal situation. It just didn't make sense. Why would California Guardian, after getting in a fight with Scientology security guard, agree to make a deal to be part of Scientology and do work for them? It's too unreal for it to make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And I also told this person too, and they which killed me, is like, if they wanted to pump me for information, I don't understand why they kind of cut me off when I tried to explain this. And what I told them is, my thing with Scientology is, I've protested them before. I was one of the very few people that watched the Angry Gay Pope that was in the First Amendment auditing community before Nasty Nathaniel and him started doing videos together, and these other activists started filming Scientology. But I went on Guy Fawkes Day because, like I said, I consider myself to be one of the old school sort of activists. Anonymous, which is kind of like a sort of a bullshit sort of I call it more of a mainstream sort of movement, if you will, where it's kind of now on to all this more government conspiracy stuff. When you really look at the history of Anonymous, it all started because of Scientology. Back in 2008, Tom Cruise had his wacko video exposed of him, getting interviewed saying, I think it's a privilege to be called a Scientologist. And, being wacko, and then he went on Oprah, and yeah, no, I'm 19, I'm 19. But I've been around the internet a long time, so I know a lot about some of this meme-type history. And this was when, Tom Cruise was really going on off the rails, and how Anonymous started is Church of Scientology tried to suppress that video of Tom Cruise, in his interview going, Scientology's cool, and it's a privilege, and blah, 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 and just saying outlandish stuff. And so Anonymous, this group, got together and they said, hey, we're going to protest Scientology on a certain date. And their whole thing was using the Guy Fawkes mask as their symbol. So on Million Mass March Day, they also, protested Scientology too back in the day. Well, on Million Mass March Day of 2016, November the 5th, I went down to the Santa Ana Scientology org, and I went down there and I protested with a big old sign here. In fact, I got a treat for you. Should still have it. Alright, I found it. I went down to Scientology with this sign. Big old letters, says, Xenu goofed the floof. Now, in Scientology words, that is one of the most dangerous things you could ever say. I know, it's kind of me different, well, I can change that too. Here, is this better? Is this better? There. Got suit and sunglasses. Is this better? There you go, the suit and sunglasses. Am I more recognizable now? Yeah, it does. It does look like News Now Houston's Corvette. My thing is this actual color, that's going to be changed. That's not the original color. We still have a lot of work to do in the operations center. We're going to paint that eventually to have it be a different color. But yeah, I went down there with this sign, Xenu Goof the Floof, and in Scientology words, that pretty much means this intergalactic overlord. Yeah, pretty much. I've already got the color picked, so it's already been decided. I just need the day where it's going to be warm enough to paint. But in Scientology world, you have to pay $100,000, or at least a minimum of that amount, to oh yes, the Tyvek suit is the best. But what do you call it? What am I saying here? In Scientology world, you have to pay $100,000 to hear that information, and basically your to stream a convo with him. He's in Merb's Discord. Well, if he's in Merb's, he can call me, or we might, or whatever. He can get on the chat and on my YouTube. I'm not going to get on Discord because I got to make an account for that, and look, I have, and for the record too, that's another thing. I will never be on Discord. I'm never going to get a Discord account. The only accounts I have are my Twitter account, my YouNow account for backup live streaming, and this YouTube channel I'm streaming on right now. Those are the only 3 accounts I have. YouNow, YouTube, Twitter. I do not have any other accounts. And if I do, I will inform you of it. So if you see any Cameraman Instagrams, Facebooks, anything other than my Twitter, my YouNow, and YouTube my channel, then that's not me. Did you talk to that dude in Las Vegas? What dude in Las Vegas? Do you mean the guy that was who got assaulted by the Las Vegas Convention Center division of the LVMPD, if that's who you're referring to. But anyways, there's my sign. Back to what I was saying. I went down there and protested on Guy Fawkes Day for Scientology, and you have to pay $100,000 in Scientology to hear that information. And basically, that means is an intergalactic overlord is the reason for all of our problems in life. You know, for an example, you know, you may be overweight because you eat too much. Well, that's not your fault. That's in a floating around in the air right now, forcing you to eat too much. So that's why you're fat, and you need to be audited so we can get that fat-causing Satan out of you, so you won't be flawed anymore. You know, nonsense like that. So, and you got to pay $100,000 minimum in money to hear that information. So I figure, well, I'll go from 10 o'clock in the morning to in the afternoon, and holding the sign. And it was pretty successful for a little while. And went on for about 3 or 4 hours, around, say, right when 1 o'clock came around, the police finally showed up. They got, like, called 2 hours earlier, and they finally showed up, because I guess it was a slow day. And they told me, and they told the Scientologist what I already knew. I had the right to be doing what I was doing. I was in a legal place. Don't block the entrance and exit of the business. You know, I can't force somebody to stay. You know, don't block someone from trying to walk away from you. You know, basic stuff like that. And my mistake is when it comes to protesting Scientology, after the cops get there, you should probably leave afterwards if you're by yourself. But if you're multiple people, that's one thing. But still, that's not to say that what do you call it? You still can't get bull baited by the Scientologists if what do you call it? If you don't leave. But basically, because I was by myself, they thought they were going to be able to intimidate me. And so, after a while, after the police left, the church had exhausted the legal methods of trying to remove me, I should say. So they resorted to the illegal methods of removing me. So they had somebody change their clothes. This guy was out earlier. He was wearing a white. Matter of fact, I'm getting the pictures ready to show you right now. This guy earlier was wearing white clothes, and he was one of their, you know, minimum low level workers. You know, he's cleaning windows and stuff, and you know, not really any sort of buddy special in the Scientology hierarchy. So later on, he came out in a different pair of clothes, and I was at the time, pull the folder out. Have it right here. Should have it in the very. I was using this article right here from the Orange County Register, and I was walking up to Scientologists asking, "Oh, hi, did you see this Orange County Register article that says father of Scientology leader calls the church evil?" And so I walked up to this guy and a woman, and they're talking, and I asked that to them, and they said, "Oh, we don't want to communicate with you right now." And I said, "How many times have I been arrested?" "Well, technically for an arrest to occur, I have to be booked and processed. So technically, I have not been officially arrested yet. I've been detained many times, but not officially arrested." What do you call it? So at that point, I tell the guy, "Well, L. Ron Hubbard said that communication is the universal solvent. Don't you want to get dissolved of this issue?" And at that point, he said, "Well, we have to connect that bridge with you, and we don't want to connect right now." And I said, "Well, that's your choice whether or not you want to connect or don't want to connect. But the police said I can do this, so we might as well talk about Scientology." And that's when this guy gets up in my face, and he says, "Oh, you think I'm afraid of you? Think I'm afraid of you? I'm bigger than you." And this guy's, I'm 5'8" at the time, and this guy's like 5'9", so he's 1 inch taller than me, not very intimidating. And I told him, "Don't bull bait me, sir." And in Scientology talk, bull baiting is a term which Scientologists use to provoke somebody. It's more of a protocol than it really is a term. The idea is, as a Scientologist, I'm going to piss you off as the activist by getting in your face, saying words to try and get under your skin, so you will do some sort of act against me in retaliation, so then I can go and call the police on you and get you arrested. But me, knowing Scientology's tactics, I told him, don't bow bait me, sir, and I stood my ground. I didn't try and go for him or anything, which he wanted me to do, so technically he did what I asked him to, and not bull bait me. He then just grabbed my camera instead of me wanting him to attack, instead of him wanting me to attack him, he attacked me. He grabbed my camera and ripped it from my neck, and at that point, pretty much what occurred was what happened with Guardian and the security guard Alexei at the Scientology Guarantee building in Hollywood. But instead of an activist taking property from a Scientologist took property from an activist, i.e. being me. And in this situation, I clearly saw that, one, I had 2 or more witnesses, and he had my property. I had a reasonable right to retrieve it back, so I decided to go with the citizen's arrest and retrieve my property and headbutt him with the same pith helmet I'm wearing now, because, 1, I wasn't going to beat on him if I'm going to try and subdue him. 2, he has a camera in his hand hanging by a strap which can be used like a mace, and if he swings that in the air, that can potentially do some damage, knock some teeth out. Now, well, yes, Earl, yes, just for the record, Earl David Warden put me up to going to Scientology back in 2016, and I'm telling a story all about this, so, News Now Houston is totally putting me up to this, this is all through him, I mean, do you really believe that? This, that's the type of nonsense why I want moderators, but because too many people were complaining, I took away the moderators, because it's the type of nonsense that doesn't contribute to this live stream, so, above mere words said in a manner that is, perhaps you shouldn't be in the situation in the first place. It had nothing to do with it. I don't care what he said to me. The fact was, he then assaulted me at that point, and he ripped the camera from my chest. And I'm, I must be just full of shit, and just decided to go and smash and break a camera myself. I still have the camera. I'm not making this shit up. This is a broken strap. This is my broken camera. He had the camera ripped from my chest and hanging on like this. So even though this portion was broken, he could still swing it around like a mace. And he had it in his possession, and it was just like what happened at Scientology with California. So in an exact role, California Guardian. The only thing he's guilty of is battery, assault and battery. He's not the one who stole the flashlight. Is Ohio Guardian. And the same thing here is, I don't care. It doesn't matter what someone says to you. You can't just go up and steal their property. Just like, we go up to the cops and we get close to them with our cameras, the cops can't just rip our cameras off and, take it from us. The same situation happened here. Instead of, Ohio Guardian taking a flashlight from the security guard, a Scientologist took my camera and physically ripped it from my neck. And what kills me about the outcome is, I didn't call the police. The Scientologist called the police back. But the same situation happened to California Guardian happened with me, but when the police got there and reviewed the evidence, including my broken camera, the security cam footage from Scientology, the officer from the Santa Ana Police Department walked over and said to me, and these are his words, We've looked at the evidence, and at this point, we cannot tell who started what. So, if you want there to be a report of this incident, we have to arrest you both for mutual combat. And at that point, the district attorney will review the case and determine who is the victim and who is the aggressor. But all we can do at this point is arrest both of you for mutual combat if you wish to press charges. And I told the officer, I'll just leave it at that. Because at the end of the day, I'd rather replace a camera that's $200 than lose out on money that's bail and legal fees and things of that nature. But the same sort of situation applied here, but it's reversed. Instead of an activist being an aggressor on the Scientologist, a Scientologist was an activist, was aggressive to an activist. So, and my main warning was to everybody after this, because my thing after this was I was totally done protesting Scientology, but after a year or so I got back into it with Nasty Nathaniel and the Gay Pope because they were more what do you call it, activists being watched this no-fly list. That's your, and that's fine. All you people out there say that I'm on the no-fly list, please show me, because so far I can fly on a plane. I've checked. I'm good. So, last time I checked too, a couple other people I know are supposedly, I've been told are on the no-fly list, have recently flown on planes. So it's like, really. So I guess I'm gonna be stuck. No planes for me. But that's the type of future. Let us walk out of there and do some auditing. I think I'm gonna just leave it there. Finish up my Scientology story and leave it at that with Noble. I think he's summed it up there. Enough talk. But this is what I mean. Exact comments like that are why I wanted moderators in here, because one, that's pretty much contributed nothing to the live stream other than me giving commentary on it, which is just wasting time. Second of all, and mainly really with all troll comments, I ask myself, why do you care? Normie McNormalot, why do you give a shit if I'm going to be on the no-fly list or not? You're not the one who's going to be flying. Why do you care? You're not the one who's going to be paying my plane ticket, so why do you care? It's just like when somebody commented, oh, I would never have paid $5 for that crappy photo that you publicly requested. And I replied back to him, why do you care? You're not the one who paid $5 for the photo and went down there and retrieved it through the Public Records Act and spent time out of your day doing that, so why do you care? And the person replied back to me, you're absolutely right, Cameron. I don't understand, so it's just nonsense like that. Earl's new girlfriend, don't let him, whatever. New girlfriend, see more drama, more troll. News girlfriend, I don't even know who the new girlfriend is, and why do I, more importantly, why should I care? Why should I care? Everything that was said. But, as far as Scientology goes, after my incident, I warned everybody just to be careful with Scientology, because if you're not, they, as much as they are a kooky cult, they've extorted hundreds of thousands of dollars from their members, and they have plenty of lawyers that will waste your time from 6 ways from Sunday. So just be very careful. The type of camera I use is the Coolpix for photos. I use Coolpix LL340, and for my video I use a Sony Handycam. And all the chat is not. Oh, I'm keeping an eye on that. I know some of it is not all directed at me, but some of it is clearly is. Won't show members and creators criminal convictions. Well, I don't know. I'm not really concerned about FAA. I said Sony and for the body camera, I use a one of these MUVI body cameras, And what's ironic is I've actually seen videos that people have filmed of the police wearing this exact body camera I use. And it's actually a good body camera. It's about, you can get it for about I think $120 on Amazon. The minimum it can record in is 720p, and the maximum micro SD card you can put in this is a 32 gigabyte. So that's what I use for body camera. There. That should be the end of that. And I think I've covered everything. I mean, I've gone a lot longer than I ever intended this live stream to be. And I do think the people that did stick around. That is one I haven't opened. I have two out of the box. But I haven't opened that one because I have no need to yet. I haven't had a need to use 3 body cameras at once. But I have two body cameras. One right now, one I primarily use for wearing, and the other one is a backup for, like, let's say I'm in a vehicle or something, I can put that in. Like, let's say I'm going for a DUI checkpoint, right? I can put the body camera on me, and I can have one body camera mounted on the dashboard. So, there's that. I think I wanted to cover everything. Are your Star Wars characters still in the box? Is it still in the box? No, not a lot of them. I do have some out of the box there. I do have, but mostly all the cameras are out of the box except that one. Cameraman, you do you, sir. Screw the haters. And and whatever, if you want to subscribe to me or continue to subscribe to me after this, that's your choice. I just felt that I get this off my chest, and before people start coming and saying, "Oh, I saw you do what do you call it? I saw you on Discord in this recorded call," and and like I said too, in those answers I give, those were honest answers I gave. When he asked the questions that he did, and other than that, if there's any questions other than, legitimate questions that people need clarifying, let's go ahead and ask them now before I end the live stream here in a few minutes. But I think I covered everything I wanted to cover that I spoke about in that call. Nope, no questions. Nobody has any questions? Well, I think that's about it. Just double check to make sure I didn't miss anything. I pretty much went over who are your favorite auditors. That's a good question. Honestly, I think really my true favorite auditor that I can say is truly my favorite is Honor Your Oath Jeff Gray. Every time he posts a video, as soon as I see that notification, I watch it instantly. I think he's my favorite out of all the auditors because he's one of the very first I watched, and I just like his voice, the way he does things, the way he presents stuff, and the way he does his style. That's the way he is. Who is your favorite troll? That is a good question, because there's a lot of trolls out there that make good content that could really, it's like, and what I mean by good content, I'm not saying their trolling is good. It's great that they troll or like that. I mean by, they make their level of editing skills are really good, that they could be making great cop watching videos and stuff like that, but yet here they're making troll related videos. But I think that's a good question. Who's the favorite troll? There is a lot of trolls out there. It's hard to say, just one. I don't know. You know what, honestly, I think my favorite troll is the one that commented, and I blocked, that commented a while back on my channel that anybody who films military bases should have their chest defecated and smeared on. I think that's my favorite troll, because every time when I hear some people complain about stuff like at the council meeting, I should have said this at one of my council meetings one time a while back ago, but I didn't. But here's my point. Here's why where vital organ. You might think that's lame, but here's why. Well, I don't think you haven't. I don't think you're a troll. I think you're another user. I haven't seen you've been doing any trolling activity. But the reason why I think I consider him to be my favorite troll is because all the council members like to bitch about, oh, people get up and say mean things about us. But as far as I've heard, nobody's gone up to I've not seen any public meeting or aware of any public meeting that someone went up to the podium of that public meeting and during the public comment period of that meeting told one of the members of the council that they should have their chest defecated on. So I think that's my favorite troll for the creativity. The creativity it's one thing, I've gotten those comments, go kill yourself, you're a fag, things of that nature. But for someone to go out of their way and say I should be defecated upon, I think that's some creativity. I'll give them, you have to give them an A for effort, ladies and gentlemen. And so far, I have not had any other troll since then say I should be defecated on. But probably after this, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate comments of that. Ben Jolson III. Good thing you mentioned that real quick. I knew I was forgetting something. During that phone call, that person also said that somebody in the a female auditor amongst us was arrested for pedophilia or molestation, but they couldn't confirm who it was yet. Oh, and that too, Pink Camera Magic. If you're still here, that person on the phone also said you were arrested for prostitution in a massage parlor as a man. That's what they told me. You were arrested in a massage parlor as a man for prostitution. And I'm like, it's just like, See, I knew I was forgetting something. So I'm glad somebody mentioned that in the chat. So I think I have covered everything now. This is gone. And who told you? Well, if you go on to I don't know, it's probably all deleted now because I've exposed it all. But it was somebody by the name of the username of Ridicule. Somebody earlier in the chat said it was Huckleberry Auditor that called me, but I can't confirm at this time if it was Huckleberry Auditor. And by the comments I've seen on him, I don't understand why, if it was Huckleberry Auditor that did call me, why he would be on here commenting me and supporting me and just saying there, right there, the cameraman, I will wait to see your next hazmat video. So if he's the one that called me and said all this shit, why would he be on here supporting and saying, well, I can't wait to see your next video? It doesn't make sense. Or is that his nature? All I know is Huckleberry Auditor is, I've seen his comments before, but I've never really checked out his channel because some of these people have like News Now in their name, but they don't post anything. Pink Camera Magic. Can you confirm that, Pink Camera Magic, if you're in here? Because it seems to me it's this Ridicule person. Well, Vital Organ, I mean, in all fairness, you are a troll, so we have to take everything you say with hearsay and 50-50. He's two-faced. Well, just like what I discussed with that person on the phone who was really adamant about, that's another thing. They asked me if Time to Stand molested me. And I told them no, and if anybody who knows me, I told them that if Time to Stand ever did molest me, I'd kick him in the nuts and post it on everybody for YouTube to see. Now, my thing is the person said they said, Time to Stand isn't Richard Crowell, is he? And I said, yeah, he is. Where have you been? Because, everybody knows that. Everybody. Ever since he started his channel, everybody's been on his All the trolls have been on his ass. He's like the first. He was the first News Now. He was the first. Everybody's now on News Now Houston's case because of his supposed actions. This is the allegedly, did these things that he's being accused of at this point. Whether or not he's convicted, we'll see. But before all this News Now Houston shit, if you've been around for a long time, Time to Stand has been the original punching bag. I mean, everybody, all the trolls take swipes at him. Everybody. I'm like, if you didn't know that, you've been under a rock. So, and they asked me that, and of course I know because, well, that's your opinion, that's your opinion. What do you call it? Because he never did that to me. And like I even joked about it too. It's like, well, that's what we do joke about it. It's like, well, if you do molest me, I mean, you are kind of old hitting on a 19-year-older and shit. People still think he's grooming me. I mean, I thought the whole idea of pedophilia is the person is supposed to be underage. How do you groom a 19-year-old? Because I think someone who's 19 is of legal consenting age. So, It's just this person went on for so long, they ended up exposing themselves. I'm just as bad. So apparently I've apologized for his actions. So I don't know when I did that, but apparently talking about him is apologizing for his actions. So I guess everything I'm going to be saying is apologetic. So was it all consensual? Oh, see, there we go. See, so it just goes to show what people are saying about Vile Organ. How people twist things at that point. But technically, if he did something to me, yeah, at this point it would be consensual. But he never did anything, and I'm not into Time to Stand that way. And he's never been into me that way as well. And to think people out there right now that people out there think that he is molesting me and grooming me, it makes me laugh. It just makes me laugh at how ridiculous and how uninformed these people are, and how easy they buy into such bullshit. It's bullshit. If anybody says that I was molested by Time to Stand, they're full of shit, and I will defend that statement to the day I die. Time to Stand never, ever, ever, ever touched me inappropriately. Never has and never will. So, you can call me a liar all you want. That's the facts. He never touched me, and anybody who says he did and is grooming me is a full of shit and is a liar. You gotta... Yeah, I got a pretty mouth, yeah. I really don't care what I say, if I say a curse word at this point. If you're gonna, he used a golf club, yeah. He used a golf club on your mother last night. Two can play the troll game, it kills me is, well, we've gone on too long enough, but this is exactly what the person said. They're like, oh, did he molest you? And no, not molest you, but did he touch you? And I told them no. And for anybody who keeps saying that, this is the record right here and now. You heard it straight from the cameraman. So if anybody says from this point on that he's molesting me and grooming me, they're a liar. And I will defend that to the day I die. He's never has touched me and never will. And it really pisses me off. I gotta keep hearing this bullshit, and people believe this crap, and it kills me too. Is like, well, for a married man, he really has some low standards. If he doesn't, my mom, that's another thing. We need to be looking, we should really be looking at my mom in this situation. Why hasn't she pressed charges? That's the real, and honestly, if that was the case, do you think I would have been hanging around him as long as I did, and have been? It's just it's the nonsense, and this is why it needs to stop. You keep pushing this narrative that he's out there doing it. He's not. He's not. And it's a shame that I have to get on here and confront the fact that you people are out, there's people out there saying this. I'm going to plug myself in. Oh, my mom knows very well what he did. Matter of fact, he sat down personally and spoke with my mom about the whole situation and explained to her the whole reason of why that became about, and she's acceptable of it. So you might as well call her a chomo apologetic lover too, and drag us all down with the boat. So, you know, some people are acting like this is a big secret that I kept from my parents, and they know about my YouTube just as much as I know, they're not in the dark. So, it kills me is when they say, oh, we got to find his mommy and daddy and inform them. Inform them of what? What? Of stuff they already know? And your mom believed a lying chomo. Yep. Well, I think we'll call it there, ladies and gentlemen. I think we'll call it there because, like I said, it's an O.J. Simpson situation. Nobody is gonna be happy. No one is gonna, no one's gonna. But how do you know they spoke the truth? Well, like I told the guy, how do we know anything? How do I know what you're saying is the truth? How do you know what I'm saying is the truth? How do you know what's on the court documents? Well, I will say this: tacos. Tacos are for dinner tonight because it's Taco Wednesday instead of Taco Tuesday. But it's the bottom line too. I could have sat here for almost 2 hours and lied to you, ladies and gentlemen. I could have sat here and lied to you if you want to sit there and take that away. Because that's pretty much what this boils down to, is no matter what we say, what we do, one side is going to think you're lying, and one side is going to think you're telling the truth, and you're never going to be able to appease one group. So pretty much I've seen so have I. I've seen the court documents. I've seen what's in it. You think because you've read a court document that makes you a fucking legal expert. Look at, I got plenty of court documents here. I got plenty of whistleblower lawsuits from the Anaheim Police Department. And here, you want to see a court, here's whistleblower loss. No, this is this is the general order for expressive activity in the Los Angeles courthouse. But here we go. I know. Here we go. This is this is not the. Well, this is another one. Well, here, I want to get the exact one that says whistleblower on it. Violation, conjunction, because I got a whole bunch of cases here. Whistleblowers. Request for jury trial. 2012. A whole bunch of case files here. Don't tell me this file just suddenly disappeared on me. Go for discrimination, violation of code here. Well, we'll just use this in. I'm not going to continue to waste time, but this is a lawsuit filed by a Anaheim Police Department captain against the city of Anaheim, and there's misconduct alleged in here of things that staff in the Anaheim Police Department have done. And, knowing police, have a history of lying, well, how can we not say everything in here? This person is lying. Just because you read something here on the paper doesn't mean it's necessarily true. There's lots of things that get taken to court on paper. That's how a lawsuit starts, with an allegation. And then it gets taken to court, it gets investigated, and it is determined whether or not judgment should be issued. Just because it's on paper doesn't mean it happened. There's a lot of things that get put on paper, and then when it goes down to the trial, things come out differently. Now, let's not forget, too, there's lots of things out there that get suppressed. There's motions to suppress. So even if you do put something on paper, an attorney can go and file a motion to suppress it. So if it's on, really, any paper doesn't mean shit. The only thing what matters is rulings. Anything can be on paper. Anything's on paper. You know, just because it's on paper doesn't mean it's true. There's 4% of the population is falsely incarcerated. That's about 90,000 people in the United States. So is it not possible that someone could be possibly part of this 4%? Yeah, I listen to police scanners. So just because it's on paper, doesn't mean it's true. Hasn't anybody ever heard of the term, don't always believe what you read? I mean, come on. It's like, because it's on paper, it must be true. Well, here. Here, let's see. I'm fat. I'm fat. See, it's on, I put on a piece of paper, I'm fat. Well, it must be true, right? Right? It must be true. It's on paper, it must be true. But about 90% of people are scared. See, even to understand, you just put that California Guardian put out a video on how 90% of people are scared into taking the plea deals. And I've seen that video. So, yeah, it's a little pudgy. But am I fat out, am I straight out obese and fat? The little pudgy is one thing, but, fat is more so of, like, overweight. Out of the felon speaks. Why are you at my grandma's house? Where are you wearing? Oh, I didn't know. This was your grandma's hat? Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, I must say then your grandma must have good taste. Oh, yes. Chip audits. I think I'll call it with this. I will say this. I do have eventually, I don't know when, but I do have a audit of California Highway Patrol coming up in Sacramento. I don't know when it'll be uploaded, but I did an audit of them, and we got quite a response. We had like 4 CHP officers come out, and what do you call it? Conviction. A conviction. See, now here, con man. A conviction means nothing. Of law, it means nothing. You grow up. This is exactly the type of mentality I'm talking to you. If someone pleads no contest to something, they're pleading no contest. That means they're not admitting to guilt or innocence, but they still get convicted of the crime. So if I go and let's say plead no contest to I held up a liquor store or something, and I went and pled no contest to it. That doesn't, what do you call it? That means I'm not admitting guilt or innocence to it, but I'm accepting that this is an allegation made against me. You see what, but again, probably no one's going to give a shit. See this, we're still going back to the no matter how you slice it, people pleading no contest, how many people, exactly, no matter how you put it, you're going to be guilty. So if you convicted by a jury, and that was for the previous allegation. So if he was convicted by a jury, then the jury found reasonable evidence to convict him. So if he was convicted by a jury, that's one thing. Then you went to trial to contest, then you had to plead innocent. If you pleaded innocent, that's the only way you can go to trial, to contest. Because if you plead guilty or plead no contest, then you accept the allegation being made against you, and you accept the consequences, and you waive your right to a trial and go straight to sentencing. Yeah, it works both ways. It can be used as a cop-out and not a cop-out. But it's like I said, it's an O.J. Simpson. No matter what the outcome is, no one's gonna be appeased. And another thing too is these, if you're gonna talk about judges, You're still... You know, see, this is the type of stuff you just go show, you know, just goes to show the true character of people. You know, again, you know, Mr. Vital says he's not a troll, but he's just showing his true colors of being a troll. So, yeah, well, like I said, well, you know, I've been caught, well, I wanted to end, but then someone talks about something good, but now I am going to end it because, you know, now we're going to, well, if you have something to do, then leave. Don't, you know, then you're just as equally as bad as I am, noble sheet. You're just as bad as I am. You're just as bad as I am by saying that. By me threatening, yeah, I'm bad by not making a promise on my stream. I am going to end it now because it just goes to show the true people in the comments here. But again, it's just you're just as bad as I am. By if you have things to do, then why are you here? Same logic. If you don't want to be filmed, why are you walking up to the camera? You know he's trolling everyone. Huckleberry Auditor, but you have yet to delete him, so the rules... I didn't delete him. Did I? Well, if I did delete him, I did delete him, but I don't believe I deleted him. He still should be able to comment. Well, then, you know what? Noble Sheet, I am going to end it for you. If you would have said that, then fine. If you don't want to miss anything, but you have to go, well, then fine. If you would have said that, I wouldn't have been so upset with your logic. If you would have just said, you know, followed up with that, then I would have been more understanding. But this has gone on for 2 hours. I hope I've explained everything to you that I needed to explain in that call. I covered everything I needed covered. I hope everybody understands my personal statement on this drama and how enough is enough. And again, too, you know, here, people are getting on here and thanks everybody for the comments of the hats. You guys are trolling a youngster. Your troll street cred just plummet. Yeah, and that's another thing too. If all the trolls are in here, you know West Coast Recon does have a point. You are trolling against. Yeah, I know. I should have stayed out of the drama, but I stood out of it for a long. I stayed out of the drama for a long time. Chi-Town Suit. I stayed out of it for a long time. But after Sunday, when somebody calls me on the phone and then plays it for everybody on Discord, I can't stay out of the drama anymore after that. So I didn't just inject myself in this for fun. I was drug into this. So yeah, someone called me, Teresa R. Get on Discord. Get on Discord. It's all on Discord. I don't have to join Discord to see it's all on there. I had the video sent to me. The chat's all there. And if I gotta post it later, I will. It's all on Discord. You know, so someone gave out my number, but no one called. Yeah, well, somebody called me. Somebody gave out my number, and somebody called me and impersonated Blue Ghost Media to try and pump information out of me, and that's why I'm making my live stream. So if that person didn't call me, I would have never made that live stream. I've been out of this drama for a long ass time, but for the past 2 days after that call, I needed to get this off my chest. Enough is enough. I'm not involved with this drama, and I'm going to end the live stream now. I'm tired of saying I'm going to end it. Enough is enough. But if you want the replay, watch the replay. You can. No, someone impersonated Blue Ghost Media because when I asked, I said, "Is this Blue Ghost Media?" Because the person called from a private number, and they said yes. And in the chat, it says that the person impersonated. It said even in the chat there. Well, now we got a third person, LGFE. So it's either LGFE. Somebody claimed it was what do you call it? Huckleberry Auditor, and now somebody's claiming this Jeffy. But somebody called me Sunday, March 31st. I thought it was Blue Ghost Media because sometimes people sound different on the phone. And when I asked, "Is this Blue Ghost Media?" they said yes and confirmed. So as I continued in the conversation, I quickly realized something wasn't right. Either if this was Blue Ghost Media, well then bye, Dan. Then we're done. So lie number 3. But you know what? Before I do, just for the record, go on Discord. Go on Discord. It's all there. I have no need to go on Discord because it's just a bunch more drama. But it's all there. It's here on Discord. Here, it's all there. The chat. And here, let me skip to one of the comments where it specifically says. No, that's one thing, Teresa. People call people, but people don't call people and then impersonate other people and tell false information about other people. See comments right here. It'd be funny to see his face when the real Blue Ghost Media called. You know, see, you know, if nobody would have called me, and said that James Freeman, all these other people, and made up false backgrounds about them to try and get me to give him this people numbers and shit, you know, I would have made this live stream, you know. But the fact is, somebody called me, and that's why this whole started. So if that call didn't happen, you wouldn't have been seeing me.